You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, stand up, sit down.
What's going on, people? Yes, that's right. It's another Friday, and you're with your host, your man, Ashford Thomas. And I appreciate you for being with me again. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. That's right. Who do I have in the building today? A very hilarious, funny comic, the one and only, Mr. Jordan Pease. Say what's up to the people.
How's it going?
Throw it up. We're going to bring that back. We're going Let's bring Why not? Make it rain. We're making it rain already, babe. We're going to go ahead and get into it, man. Say what's up to the people, Jordan.
I know. Thanks for watching and having me. I'm excited.
Yes,
This is incredible.
It is a setup. I tell
know.
people, this is like, I think this is what Prince's living room, the den area, the guest room.
If Prince had sex with like a Real Housewife of Atlanta, this would totally be it.
This would be it right here. TVs everywhere. The pearls, you know what's going on.
You can call those pearls. That works. Yeah.
But definitely, we'll go ahead and get into it right quick, man. First and foremost, tell the people where you are from.
I am originally, I don't know if you could tell by this like horrible gay Fran Drescher. I sound like Fran Drescher. I'm from New Jersey originally.
Jersey?
A shout out. But I grew up right outside New York, like Jersey City area. So it's like half New Jersey, half like when your parents can't afford New York. They're like, just get the closest thing. But I live here in LA now.
Definitely. Now Jersey, you got weather over there and everything. Do you still have Timberlands? Did you ever wear Timberlands?
Wait, I was debating wearing them today because I was like, wait a second. Black Hollywood Live.
Yes,
Should
sir.
I wear Timbs?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
No, my mom still reps like the Timbs with the heel on the bottom, like in all weather. It's incredible.
That's what's
up. Like seriously, like any sort of hurricane, she still got them on. She's like, Sandy, please, I got Timbs on.
You know what? I tell people all the time, New Jersey alone is keeping Timberland in business.
It's so true. It's so true. And Echo.
Definitely. Still rocking it over there in Jersey.
Fat Farms. We still got Fat. We're still repping Fat
It's
Farms.
still logo brands over in Jersey.
All about it.
Keeping it real. So definitely. Oh, hold on. Don't just jump so quick to LA. When did you get out of here, man? When did you get out of Jersey?
So I moved from Jersey. So when I was 17, I was like, I had just come out of the closet in my high school, and I was like, I was never the kid that was like, I'm afraid of getting bullied. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to move to San Francisco and just go ham.
And do it. Yeah.
I was like, I got to live the gay dream. So I moved to San Francisco and I was just about to turn 18.
Okay.
Me and my best friend, Tara, we were just like, let's do it. So I moved to SF for 2 years.
How was Frisco? How was that treating
you? I was so stoned, I don't remember it too much. No, it was great. San Francisco's like, it's like the perfect hybrid of LA and New York. If I wasn't doing stand-up and like pursuing entertainment, I would still definitely live in San Francisco.
Yeah, because it's a city, and you coming from a city place.
Yeah, you don't need a car. Like everyone's like 45 and like works at a coffee shop and like has no goals or aspirations. Definitely. It's super comforting.
Exactly, because people forget that LA is not really city. It's a bunch of suburbs.
It is
overlapping each other.
It's a nice change. And then after 2 years, I started doing stand up in San Francisco. I did it once at this place called Brainwash, and it's like a coffee shop meets laundromat meets open mic. And the owner was like, you should move to LA and pursue this. And I was like, it's a dream and I'm gonna ride the wave. So I moved down here in 2011.
Gotcha. But hold on, take us through your first stand-up show. Was it how did you say, hey, were you always funny? Let's take it back to high school. Were you always funny?
I was always like a character. I knew like at a young age I could talk my way out of anything. So I was like always getting in trouble and like skipping detention and then getting Saturday detention and then skipping Saturday detention and then just not going to school. I was like that kid. But I would like the vice principal. I was just like I would be able to like talk him off a bridge if I needed to. So it was like I got this. It's in the bag. So I kind of felt like I always had this let's see, like this, I always would make jokes about stuff that was super inappropriate, but I would like make them in ways, like I would say things that were horrible, and then I would just smile about it, and then he'd be like, he's kidding, it's fine, but half the time I wasn't. So I kind of,
charming.
Yeah, I knew from like a young age that I wanted to be an entertainer.
Gotcha.
In some sort of way.
Gotcha. Did you do anything, like any classes in high school, like theater or anything?
No,
or?
I think I was in a talent show when I was in the 4th grade.
Taking it way back, baby.
I danced to NSYNC. I was much better than NSYNC, if you ask me.
Okay. Well, hold on. You don't remember the song,
but
do you?
it was It's Gonna Be Me.
Okay.
I saw the beginning is this. I know.
The classics.
Exactly. Just some of the classics. But it was just me and this other kid, Michael. Instead of 5 people, it was just us 2 dancing.
Definitely.
Literally doing the exact choreography to NSYNC. And everyone was like, he's super straight, right? Like, he's straight. That's all the way.
All the ladies coming at you and all that stuff.
I know.
Cool. So you decided to come out in high school.
Yeah.
And everything.
It was like the last couple months of my senior year.
I hate it.
And I was like, I'm gonna turn 18 soon, and I didn't come out because I was like, I need everyone to. I was like, you know how people are like torn about that truth of like, I want people to know who I am.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I was like, there's a gay bar down the street and I can't go unless I'm 18.
Definitely.
So I was like, well, I want to go, so I'm gonna come out and use a fake ID so I can go to the gay bar. That was like my first like intuitive reason of coming out. It's horrible.
I hear you. That's what's up. So
I was so
always
comfortable. I was just really comfortable with myself at a young age.
And that's the beautiful thing. And
Yeah.
people seem to gravitate towards people who are comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. So you came out and everything. How was it breaking the news to your family?
Well, it was weird. I came out to all my friends first in high school, and then I told my sister's a lesbian. And she's the oldest of the family, so there's 3 kids. It's like my sister's a lesbian, then there's my brother who's straight, and then there's me who is so gay that like you can't, you know what I mean? There's no hiding it. So my sister kind of like broke down the walls first. So when I came out and I was like, family, I'm gay, they were like, you're blocking the TV, please move. They were like,
so we already knew. It was like, yeah, we knew.
They
it
were
was
like, the Katy Perry remixes nonstop gave it away. Why don't you like get a real job?
Definitely. Okay, definitely. And then, okay, you moved to San Fran.
Yeah.
Now, people are always funny. People always want to be in entertainment, but stand-up is a different beast. What made you get on that stage for the first time?
I'm I feel like I'm just a horrifying person. Like I love things that are just horror. I'm like addicted to adrenaline, and I was like, what's the next best thing to doing drugs? So it's like, oh, stand-up gives you that rush of like probably doing ecstasy. Let's try that.
Oh, you do.
No,
You do. I don't know about the X though, but
It is. It is, but it like I just knew that it was. I wanted to do something where it was like, I want to be a pop star, but I can't sing. So it was like, what is like? I just knew that I like had this funny way of telling stories, or I would go out with friends and they'd be like, oh my god, tell that story again. Tell these people this story. It's, you know what I mean? So I was like, and I always had like a very creative mind and like pretty good timing with stuff. So I used to walk past this thing called San Francisco Comedy College all the time, but it was super expensive to like take classes there.
Yeah.
And I had gone to like sort of like an improv class, and it was very like, you can't teach comedy. Like either you could learn it and you can get better at it, but it's like it's very, you have to use your own
you
natural,
gotta have something in it. Yeah.
and it's like everyone has their own ways of doing stand-up. It's like you kind of just have to go with whatever yourself is. Like I realized shortly that like I'm funniest when I'm myself, not when I'm like just trying to write jokes all day.
And it's a great thing about it because everyone has different nuances to make them funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I would walk past and I was like, God, I wish I could take a class there. And then I learned like, I could probably do this on my own. So I started looking up open mics, and I was like just hanging out with friends and trying to test out stuff secretly, like while we were out to dinner or like during my community college classes, I would like stand up and say ridiculous stuff.
Trying that material, baby.
Yeah, trying it out. So that's kind of how it turned into me just getting to the open mic. And then after I did one open mic, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
I was like, forever.
Exactly.
This is it.
Okay, definitely. Okay, so that went well. You got a round of applause and everything.
It went decently well. I remember it started off really well, and then towards the end, I totally was like, this is a breeze. I got it. It's in the book. And then it was like, no, you can't just actually tell stories. Like, you need punchlines and timing. And then I started to, like, I mean, you learn so much from watching other comics that it's
Yeah.
like you kind of, if you see someone that you think is incredible, you're like, oh, why do they have such good jokes? Why do they have such good timing? You're like, oh, they're writing material off stuff that happens to them every day.
Yeah,
That's why it's hysterical. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I need to move to LA and make a bunch of mistakes and then make jokes about them. That's how it's gonna work.
Definitely. So, okay, cool. And you moved to LA, all right? What was the first place you hit up here, stand-up wise?
The first place I ever did stand up was this place called Hollywood Hotel. Have you ever heard of it?
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, they do in the basement
The
of
download.
this hotel.
I've been there before. Yeah.
It's like it's like they could film American Horror Story. there.
Exactly. You feel like 8 people have been killed right
it's
when you walk in.
crazy.
Like at least 8 have been killed.
I had gone there, and it's like sometimes there's like some hotel patrons that like wander downstairs. So it's like I saw on Craigslist that they had a comedy show and that they were looking for people, and I was like, you know what? Let me just send them like an email. So they're like, yeah, come do a spot. The second time I'd ever done stand up.
Yeah.
I had gone. I like walked in. I was like, this is such a nice hotel, and then you go into this basement. And you're like,
Whoa.
this is where you come to die.
That's it.
Yeah.
We
And you're
got
like,
you now.
exactly.
Craigslist will
Yeah.
strike again.
Yeah, you're like, oh god, the Craigslist killer. So I went up. There was like 5 or 6 comics. There was like a handful of Asian women who didn't speak English sitting at like the bar in the back. And I was like, well,
Getting wasted.
You know what? Let's just do it for me. So you kind of have to. I had gone, and I was just like, I had no material. I had not written anything. I was just like, I'm gonna get up. I had 2 roommates that I moved in with like 2 days before that I didn't know. And I was like, please support me, like begging for support. And they came and watched. And that was the first time I ever did stand up. And I did pretty well, like for having no material.
And for having an audience that didn't understand English.
Yeah, oh yeah. And by me saying I did well, it was like, I think I did well. But then there was actually a few other people there. There was someone there who had worked at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, and they were like, I think you got it down, like you should practice and I can get you up at the Comedy Store. And I was like, shut up, how am I skipping like 15 steps and going straight to like the world famous Comedy Store?
Definitely.
Like 4 weeks later, I was so confident. I had gotten up at like a show in the main room with like 100 to 200 people probably.
Woo! No pressure though.
I bombed so bad. I was like, I got this. I don't need material. I got up. There was like, someone had brought a bunch of bottles of champagne in the back in the green room. And I had just was like, I'm going to get annihilated and I'm just going to wing it. And I was like pacing back and forth on the stage, like trying to keep my head up the entire time. It was rough. But that was like the learning experience where you're like, oh, this is a job. Like you need to put work into it. But those were like my first 3. They were all so different that it was like it went from like laundromat to hotel basement to like one of the biggest comedy clubs in the country where I did horrible at the first time. So it was like one of those like you need to pick your face up off the ground and like either you're gonna do this or you're not. Yeah. But I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
Going well.
Because people forget, man. Like it does take work and it does take structure and all that stuff. So like I mean. Do you write now? Or you okay? Now you're right. Now you're really focused.
I basically I write material. My material like something will happen like in daily life in the world and experience, and it like tweaks something in my mind where I will jot it down in the notes. If someone went through the notes in my phone, they'd be like, this person is a sociopath and or has multiple personalities because the notes are like ridiculous. It's like crapping in a stall, and then it will say something ridiculous like airplane TSA, and you just keep going through, and then it's like you remind yourself that you kind of tweak it when you get home and you work it out into like this extent of material and punchlines and jokes, and it's kind of like you could be sitting in traffic and someone next to you can like drive off the median, and the fact that you just like don't pay attention and keep driving, it just triggers something in your mind like, oh my god, I've become someone who drives in LA every day, because at this point when there's like an ambulance, I don't even pull over. I'm like, I'm trying to get to where the hell I have to go.
You don't care because you already spent 8 hours in the car.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and every other state, if there's an ambulance coming, people move as quickly as they could. Oh, yeah. And LA, people like light cigarettes. They're like, oh, ambulance, I got 10 seconds to break, smoke a cigarette real quick, and then get on with my day. It's crazy.
Okay. So you definitely start with the bullet points, and you seem to bring all of your material just from everyday life?
Yeah, and it's I mean, you look back on stuff too. Like, I mean, when I go home to see my family in New York and New Jersey, I get so much material because my family is just so ridiculous. Like,
And it's a whole nother different world from what it is in LA.
It's great. I like my sister is a lesbian and my brother is straight and is like has a legit like my sister is a tattoo artist. I'm a comedian and we're both gay. My brother's like straight, a nutritionist, works at a hospital, makes great money, and no one gives a shit about him. It's incredible. It's amazing.
He's begging for attention.
He is. And it's so funny. Like, we all love him so much, and we're like, you're probably going to have to support the family when all this fails. Do you know what I mean? But it's so funny because it's like, my family itself is just, like, if we had a reality show, it would have to be on Showtime. Or it would, like, have to be on HBO.
I hear you.
It's horrible. It's like, we're the most loving people that are so raunchy and horrible to each other that, I mean, it would make good television.
No problem. No problem. Definitely. Okay. Definitely get your writing stuff down. So you talked about your worst show at the Comedy Store and all that good
it was
stuff.
Horrible.
Woo, woo. But, you know, you learn from that. You learn that you got to...
I go on stage sober. From that day on, after I get off stage, I usually, like, toss back a rum and Coke. Or maybe I'll have, like, a whiskey or something right before, but I will never perform drunk ever.
Not before.
No, it like horrified me to the point of where, like, even if like, my God, if like anyone who was, if Superman came up to me and was like, you need to drink this kryptonite with a tiny bit of vodka, I'd be like, I'm okay.
Okay, now right now, I'm focused, Superman.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I got things to do, you know, like, and I'm gonna look better in the outfit than you, so we'll relax, Superman.
Definitely. Well, let's give the people a little taste.
Yeah.
Of what they can see when they see you in person. Alexis, can you help me out, lady?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There I am.
I'll move this out of the way because it makes me look fat. I thought you guys were gonna be dead. Are you? You only have 50 more comedians after me. Are you ready? I'm actually happy it's warm in here because in the green room it's fucking freezing, and they obviously don't know that gay guys, if it's below 6 degrees, we just turn into chihuahuas and fucking shake and butt bitches and shit like that. No, I'm really excited to be here tonight because they booked me for a lot of gay shows, like in West Hollywood and up in the Castro in San Francisco and stuff. And I think this is the first show that I'm doing that doesn't turn into a foam party when I'm done. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Phone parties are fun.
Gays here? Gays? Yeah, lesbian? Yes, okay, good, because my car is making this weird fucking noise. So I don't really know. No, I make fun of a lot of gay shit because I consider myself like the worst gay son ever. Like, my family is super, super accepting, and then I got this. Like, I'm not even like I don't have the cool gay job. Like, I'm not an interior designer or a stylist. Like, I don't care about the environment or animals. I just suck dick. Like, role model.
Still to this day.
And like, oh, my mom's so funny. She claims that she knew I was gay since I was a baby, and I'm like, all right. But her reasoning is, she's like, your entire life you loved eating alphabet soup. Like, you would eat alphabet soup over and over again, and no matter how many times you ate it, you always choked on the D. No.
Horrible.
God. Like, being this gay is exhausting, by the way. Like, these are my baggiest jeans. Like, I have to do a handstand to get out of them. There's the amount of Crisco that I need is
That's perfect. That's actually from like, I think that's from like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Early material.
I could tell because I'm talking so fast on stage. I could tell because when you start doing stand-up, they only give you like 5 or 7 minutes.
And it
goes so fast. You're like, I need to prove that I deserve more time. So you're just like railing through jokes. You're like, whatever, who cares about timing? You're like, just get anything funny out. But yeah, I'm still satisfied. I still laugh at my own self.
Still good stuff, man. Still good stuff. Now, being a gay comedian and everything, and coming up with material and working different rooms, how has that been?
I think that was actually, I used to, when I first started, I was doing like a lot of Latino nights, which I love because they laugh at everything and they just love to drink. So I'm like game on. So I think that was definitely, and I could tell because when I first started doing stand-up, like, I mean, the easiest thing for me to write about is like making fun of myself for being gay. And because when gay men, I mean, we're the most ridiculous people of all time. I don't know if you've ever talked to us before.
Oh, definitely.
Or like,
definitely.
You can't. We're so much fun all the time.
Oh yeah, it's a party, baby.
So in the beginning, like most of my jokes were always about like making fun of myself for being gay, or like making fun of my family for making fun of me for being gay, and all this crazy stuff. But as time went on, depending on the audience, you really have to, like, I go on the road a lot. I was just in like Boulder, Colorado, and Denver.
Woo!
And I was like, I know, oh my God, blazing. I can't remember the shows, but it was a blast. You really have to tweak some of your material for what's going on, like socially, and I mean, I always try to keep in some funny gay stuff. And I mean, no matter what I say, it's going to be ridiculously gay because it's coming out of my mouth. Just glitter explosions and purses everywhere.
Louis Vuitton,
but
just
you
popping
really have to tweak I tweak my material the most when I'm performing for like a mostly white crowd, because white people are the most judgmental. Like, it's insane how I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do I don't do that much political humor. I'm like, come here, have a beer, let me make you laugh, relax. Like, I'm not gonna try to sleep with your son, okay? Like, I mean, I will if he's here, but if he's at home, I'm not gonna go. You know?
I'm not gonna put in that much effort.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is awesome.
The gas money involved, can't do it.
But definitely, like, throughout the couple years that I've been doing stand-up, I definitely, like, the most accepting audiences are like African American and Latino audiences. They just like are game on for anything, whether it's like gay, drugs, sex, political, like stuff that's going on that's current in the media. Like, they just want to hear a mix of everything. Yeah, which I love. And it was crazy to like my first supporters, and like I have this weird odd amount of Twitter followers, and they're mostly like African American middle-aged women, and it's incredible because we gossip back and forth about everything, and I've never been happier. It's my dream demographic.
That's what's up.
It is. I'm so happy about it.
It's
so fun.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, they're constantly trying to like plump me up and cook for me and stuff. It's amazing. Like, after shows, they like give. Where was I? I think I was in Atlanta. When after the show, this woman like was trying to give me her cornbread recipe.
Oh, the South, baby, I love it.
A cornbread recipe, and I was like, "This is a joke in itself, but I'm gonna take it. I can't cook for shit, but one of my roommates will help me out." And I was it's amazing. I'm so happy with where my career is going.
That's what's up. That's what's up, and it's definitely propelling out there. Now, tell the people out there, for that young comedian that's just starting to get on, and you have a manager and everything. How did you link up with them?
I have a couple people that they help me out in ways. You always have to, you do everything for yourself. Yeah. Nowadays, it's not. I learned really quickly that, like, I have friends that are doing really well and are super successful in comedy, and they're like, I still book more shows on my own through, like, Facebook, social media, and my own website than they do, like, through a manager. Yeah. Because a lot of times managers are balancing, like, 5 different people.
Yeah. And nobody's going to work harder for you than
And no one works harder than yourself, and I couldn't agree more with that. Most of the shows I book on my own, which is amazing. But, I mean, when it comes to getting a manager or finding someone that you really think is going to support you, I mean, ideally, I have a manager. I met him. I did a show at the Comedy Store. And he was like a writer for this gay magazine called Frontiers Magazine. It's like a huge publication. And he was like, I'd love to do a piece on you because a lot of your material is like almost making fun of making fun of things that are gay. Like, you don't like, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times my hardest audiences are the gay audiences.
Really? Yeah. Now they like make us
because
laugh.
There's always like this, exactly. There's like this cattiness competition, but I feed off of it and I love it. You have to make yourself look very like I'm non-confrontational. Like, I'm not trying to ruin your gay marriage, even though it's probably gonna last 5 years. But yeah, so getting a manager, I found mine at the Comedy Store. Someone was in the audience, he wrote this piece on me, and then from there kind of segued into a manager contacting me, which I was super excited about. But
the more people you can have on your team, the more,
and then you meet a lot of, it's just, people are always like, it's all about networking. And the people that say when it's all about networking are always like the most horrible networkers. They don't know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? When they're like, I'm going to go out and network. I'm like, oh, good luck. You just got to talk. You book most of your shows through like other comics that you become friends with. Like, they'll have a manager that books an amazing show for them. And they're like, oh, I'm going to suggest Jordan because I think he'll fit on the show great. Or I think he'll be a nice variable to this show. So it's awesome when you go to comedy festivals, like, really just be nice. Don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. And just don't be a douche, and you will book as much stuff as you possibly could. But, I mean, you got to work your ass off doing it yourself. Like, I mean, you drive miles for hours to perform for 20 minutes, and you have to be totally okay with it. But I mean, comedy's such like an addicting drug. It's like if you don't get up 4 times a week, or if you're not doing stand up 3 times a week, you
feel lonely. You're like, oh
Yeah,
man, I can't even.
exactly.
My swag
I'm
is
like,
off.
I need a Xanax, a blunt, Zoloft, and an entire bottle of whiskey to make me feel better.
Definitely. Definitely, man. Okay, so you're moving up and all that good stuff, man. Definitely. Tell us about you were performing for the troops.
Oh my God!
How was that?
It wasn't. I wish. I'm dying to perform for the troops. I'm actually like working on putting together a show to go abroad and perform for the troops. I want to go to the Middle East so bad.
Woo!
I just like want to be horrified that like, am I gonna get blown up? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna make people laugh? Are they gonna hate me? I just like have to live on the edge and push the envelope all the time. But I did a show for like 150. It was in the desert, like out in the Mojave Desert, where they make. Oh my God! I wish I knew the exact name of it. It was like they basically make like,
missiles and everything.
They make weapons.
Oh, so they just got it on
So
remote.
there
Like,
was,
check this one out right
There's
here.
this giant bar that they put on these huge comedy shows out in the desert, and it was like 150 people who like make weapons for the military and their family. And I was like, we'll see how this goes. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. But it went insanely well. It was a blast. It was like one of those things that I'll remember forever. When I was like, oh my God, these people are like wearing like uniforms, and I'm up here in like skinny jeans that I cut into shorts, you know, jorts. It's horrible. And I was like, how am I doing this? But it was a blast.
And you're sitting there looking like, how the hell
But
did
it's
I get
crazy,
here?
Like when you think you might bomb or you might fail, that's when you get like the biggest rush. When you're like right before you go on stage and right after. Even if you do like if 80% of your jokes work, and you're like thinking that you're gonna bomb in the beginning, it's just such like the feeling is so refreshing, and it's so like the affirmation of like feeling incredible and like making like basically
Pushing the limit. Yeah.
And succeeding is the best. You get so addicted to it.
Definitely, man. Well, you're definitely earning it out there. Now, you were named one of the funniest comics in LA.
In 2012.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, man. You still looking funny, baby.
Thank
Don't
you. and that, I think that was in 2012 when that clip was. It was awesome. I was in this competition at the John Levitt's Comedy Club. It was at Universal, and it was awesome. It was like you started off, and it was like it was like American Idol for comedians, only a bit live. So it was like you would have to do 3 minutes, and then 5 minutes, and then 7 minutes of like different bits of material. And they had judges, which was like John Levitt's and like a couple porn stars, I think. Like
Why not? Why wouldn't they? Why would they not be
get
there?
Together on a Friday night that didn't already have better plans than to judge a comedy show.
Definitely.
But it was crazy. I won first place, and it was a great feeling. It was I have like the little trophy still. And it's by my bed, and like I'll be on a date or someone will like come home with me and like watch the fucking trophy. Okay. Or they're like, can you make me breakfast? I'm like, trophy. Look at the trophy.
I deserve
Trophy,
this.
Number 1. Get out. Get out.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
It was good.
Also, let the people know that you're a writer as well.
Yeah, I do. I started writing when I was 17. I published one book. It failed.
Oh, that's all right, man.
I didn't give up. I wrote a memoir. I had moved to Europe for a little bit after a really bad breakup. I like sold my car, sold all my shit, and I was like, I read Eat, Pray, Love, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
That's what I do want to do after my breakup.
Yeah,
just go to
so
Brazil.
who wouldn't go to Brazil? I
would?
love people in Brazil. Their main goal in life is like just to be hot. Have you
Yes.
noticed that? They don't have to do anything.
Just be
They, like,
beautiful.
Brazilian men do one push-up and they're ripped, and Brazilian women, they're like, I love your fake tits. They're like, no, real. I'm
Real.
like, you're just Brazilian and hot. Like that's what you have to do for a living.
That's it. And we're getting the Ralph down
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I'm
But
just
when I moved to Europe, I was writing a memoir about like my experiences and like growing up and like kind of figuring out like what I wanted to do with my life. And that I published that as well, thank God, so I could pay my rent. And it's called Accidentally Okay.
Accidentally Okay. Check it out, people.
It's at Barnes & Noble and stuff like that, and online on Amazon. And it's doing well. I'm always writing. My dream is to be like a New York Times bestselling author and comedian and really just work the system.
Definitely. Now you gotta explain that title for me because I love it, man.
Oh, so I had gone accidentally okay. I can't even say it myself. It took me forever to learn how to spell it. Accidentally okay. It was basically like because I had moved to Italy and I had gone to Verona, which is like literary, like it's Romeo and Juliet. That's where everything took place. And it's kind of like very untouched. Like it's beautiful, but it's nothing like Milan or Rome where it's like super built up and there's a lot of tourists. There's touristy areas, but like within 5 blocks, like you're in Italy where like no one speaks English.
Yeah.
So I had gone there because I was like, I just want to like be out of my, I just want to do my thing. And like, I don't care if I have to sell tomatoes. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't care if I have to crush grapes to make money.
Brand new.
I just want to like wander around and do my thing. So accidentally okay kind of developed because it was like I kind of realized when I was there like everything that you feel, like every emotion, every like mistake you make and every experience, like it kind of forms your life, and like you have that perspective where you could like get mad about it or get sad, or you could like kind of spin it and look at it in like a learning experience and in a positive way. And like these things that were just like when I was there, I got beat up by gypsies, like 4 gypsies next to a river.
Those damn gypsies.
Exactly, but I like I like couldn't. I was like getting mauled by gypsies, but I was like enjoying it and laughing because I was like at this place in my life where I was like, I'll remember this forever, and this is perfect for the book. And like I started putting myself. I started like when you start living outside of your box and you start living like it's hard for me to live in. I don't live in West Hollywood just because I want to be able to go to a jog. I want to be able to go for a jog in the morning and like go to 7-Eleven looking like a hot ass mess and not have to see 25 gorgeous gay men. I want to see like one like fat person with 1 leg. Do you know what I mean? That's, like,
You want to live a normal
in.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, when you step outside of your comfort zone, like that's when the magic happens. So that's basically how you're like, oh, I'm like, you're kind of accidentally okay. Like no matter what happens, you're fine. Like you're gonna be fine. And that's kind of like what the end of the book kind of comes to. And it goes from like me falling off a Vespa and getting jumped by gypsies and like having these beautiful experiences with like people that tell me about love, and I have to kind of like figure out this language barrier of what they're saying, and it's just like it's such a learning experience. It's like when you realize that life is like you know those people that are just super pessimistic, like I'll never understand it. So you kind of, when you realize that like life is this positive ride, you kind of learn to enjoy the ride. And that's what the book is. Enjoy every minute. Yeah, you gotta enjoy the ride.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's my goal. Just enjoy the ride.
Definitely, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing, Mr. Jordan. Definitely, man. Now, before we close it up, man, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Just about
it. Give me some good stuff.
Let me get
get crazy.
Let me think. What are your views on Kim Kardashian posing naked on GQ? I don't know if you saw that. I don't think GQ has ever had a naked woman. But,
GQ. I mean, ideally, I would rather look at Katy Perry.
All right.
But Kim Kardashian, I get it. Do you know what I mean? She's
working it, and like, what does she do though?
She's slamming.
Yes.
Like, I understand that it's like tons of makeup, and I'm sure there's a little Photoshop, but like, that can't be all Photoshop.
It can't be all Photoshop because you can have me up there.
Yeah, and I get it. And
abbed up.
I'm sure she has to eat insanely well and has this personal trainer that's amazing. But like sometimes I'm like, I roll over and I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym. That sounds horrible. But I'm sure she gets out of bed and goes no matter what. And I like give her that
credit.
That props, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, why not? What else is she gonna do?
I don't know. Call Ray J. I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I think at this point it's like, I mean, kudos to her. She spun a sex tape.
Yes.
And like being Paris Hilton's like closet organizer, because that's what she was, into like $100 million career.
Yeah.
And now she's married to Kanye. She's married to Yeezus.
Yeezus.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
One of the musical geniuses of our time.
I legitimately, or remotely, hopefully, have a talent, and I'm still trying to spin it into something. And she's just hot, and she spun this into. I mean, her family. If I was anyone in that family, must be like. Whatever she says, they do. She's like the president of the Kardashians, you know?
Yeah.
She's like legit. I mean, good for her. I get it.
And worked it.
And when I'm on an airplane and I am watching the Kardashians, I'm like satisfied. Like when I have nothing to do and I'm in a place that I can't leave. If I was in jail and I was watching the Kardashians, I'd be more than happy. Or if I was on a plane, you know what I mean? I get it. It's mindless television, and sometimes that feels so good. Sometimes you just have to sit there and be like, she has a fat ass, and I'm going to look at it no matter what my sexual preference is.
No matter what.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Who was your TV crush growing up?
Growing up.
And you can say now, too, but let me get growing up first.
Okay, right now. Okay, TV crush. Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
All right.
I used to watch Buffy, and I don't know if it was a crush as much as I was like, I want to be that. Like, I would see her, and I'd be like, I want to like kill vampires. I like want to have bleach blonde hair and like be called Summer and like. You
I
know
want to
what
fight
mean?
gypsies.
Yeah, I want to like shake my tits all day and like kill shit. It's like, you know, I think she was my first like obsession was Buffy. Was Sarah Michelle Gellar. And then now my celebrity crush is I get torn between Lana Del Rey. She just does it for me. Do you know? Are you familiar with her?
I'm not. Tell the people what show she's associated with.
She's incredible. She's a singer. She like got tons of backlash in the beginning, but she's like totally like ride or die, like chain smoke cigarettes, constantly is like singing about cocaine and sex, but it's like in this 50s vibe. It's very like it's amazing and like kind of cabaret but sexy.
It's a sort of Amy Winehouse-ish?
Ish, but think more not as think like her lyrics are a little bit more dirty than Amy, but her voice doesn't have that as dirty twang as Amy. Do you know?
Yeah.
Because Amy, it's like, I mean, she's whatever. I feel like if you talk to her, Amy, if you had got the chance to talk to Amy Winehouse, your clothes would like rip off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like that
like
voice.
this is that vibe. Like Jesus,
it's crazy. Yeah.
All right, you weigh 2 pounds, but
so I think I'm definitely torn between Lana Del Rey and always. I mean, Katy Perry just does something.
Katy Perry.
Yeah, it's something about like, I just want to put out. She like puts on the cupcake bra, and she's like, and I'm from California, and it's just hot, and she's just so like goofy and happy all the time. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do.
Katy Perry. And let me tell you something about Katy Perry. Like, people don't recognize this, but Katy Perry has albums out that will switch over to different demographics.
Oh,
like it's so
Dark
crazy. Like
Horse?
nobody's doing it like Katy Perry right now.
Dark Horse. When that song first
Did
came
I just
out,
get that
I was
hype
like,
over Katy Perry?
Dark, yeah. And I mean, I'm just like I'm a pop phenomenon. Like I mean, Rihanna but I mean, Rihanna blows my mind all the time. But
Rihanna or Beyonce? Hold up.
Had to have sex with or hang out with? You have to give me music.
Music and to have sex with or just to hang out with. Music first.
Oh God,
this is bad.
This
could determine the rest of your career right now.
This is like Sophie's Choice.
Yes.
Beyonce is I see. This is the thing. Beyonce is not a celebrity. She is like a deity. I feel like it's like in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like they have a museum about Beyonce now, which is insane. So I feel like to put them together. I mean, but Rihanna has this aura of where you're like, I'm gonna smoke weed, I'm gonna get on my private jet, then I'm gonna go to the beach and get on my yacht, and then I'm gonna hang out with Drake.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna see how things roll. Like I feel like, and she's very like down to earth and fun. God, this is legit Sophie's Choice. I feel like I'm torn. This is like I would rather pick who to kill in my own family.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think if I had to pick someone, oh God, my gut feeling would be to have sex with Rihanna. And that I don't even know. I might regret that already. I don't know. I can't answer this. I'm sorry.
You can't call it.
I can. I would just masturbate. That would be the best. Yeah.
Definitely.
Masturbate and jump off a cliff. That would be my go-to. That's impossible.
In that order. Because you can't do it the other order. But
yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
What
Definitely.
about you?
Man, I'm Beyonce all day, man.
Beyonce, yeah, she's her videos, that HBO special, and then you get to kick it with Jay-Z.
Yeah. And Jay-Z
Like,
said
come
something
on.
very true the other day. He said, yo, I'm married to the greatest entertainer alive. And like when you look at Beyonce's live shows, it's just like,
I can't, the way she dances and sings, I can't even dance and talk at that speed.
What?
It's insane. And it's crazy. And she's so insanely talented. There's a museum. She's not a celebrity. She's like an artifact. Like she's an artifact. It's something to, I think she should start her own religion.
She's working it. Definitely. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, but hold on. So you listen to a lot of music and all stuff we talked about.
Music is my everything.
What's your favorite down south song? Since I'm from the south, do you have a down south song, guilty pleasure? This is the last one.
Does it have to be right now? Is it current?
No. It doesn't have to be right now.
Okay. I don't know if Midnight Train to Georgia counts.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, hip hop song.
Hip hop.
Yeah, that was
okay.
Guilty pleasure.
I need some time. What's yours?
Mine is I have to say That's not even down south song. Now I think about it. Well, hip hop song in general. I was about to say These Girls Ain't Loyal by Chris Brown. I'm sorry.
Does Chris Brown count as he counts as the South? Yeah.
He's VA, but I take that back.
Virginia.
I take that back. Just say R&B hip hop song. Just hip hop
From the
song.
South?
Yeah. Or anywhere.
Okay. Single again, Trina. Boom.
That's the last person I thought you were gonna say, but I'm so glad you said
Trina?
it. Yes.
She's the Diamond Princess.
She is. And we love you, Trina.
Single again.
Definitely, man. But definitely, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Please, if you got anything else to let the people know about right quick.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Jordan Pease 1, the number 1. And I'm at the Comedy Store in Hollywood on September 13th, the Saturday.
Mark your calendars.
And then I'm at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood on the 24th of September.
This man is working. This man is working.
Beyonce working.
Yes. Working it out. And y'all know me. I'm your host, Ashford J. Thomas. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of BHL. You can catch me online at AshfordJT, ASHFORD JT, and at Houghton U, HOWTONU. Check it. Give my man some praise right here, Mr. Jordan Pease.
Thank you
for having a great interview.
It was awesome. You're amazing.
Thank you, man. I'm just trying to get it in, baby. Y'all have a good one. That's another BHL episode. Stand up and sit down.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.